Hello, hello! I'm the official name rater. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking at Goomy, Sliggoo, and Goodra. And I did ask you guys before, should we cover the Hisuian forms now, or should we cover it later? And you guys all voted it's a better idea to do it later. So we will not be covering Hisuian, Sliggoo, or Goodra. It was brought to my attention to maybe include in the description or the card. I think the description is safer because YouTube can never fucking decide what it wants to do. So we'll put in the description a link to the episode of Hisuian, Sliggoo, and Goodra when we get there. Obviously, it's not going to be there now. Give it maybe like a year and we'll cover it. Alright, I gotta ask, because this has got to be a meme or something that I've never heard of. Why are we calling it Lord, and then we're Loon Gomy, and chosen name, Gomem, Glorious Guja, what should I call you, my lord? Your holy lord. What's going on? What's this meme? I've never heard of this before, so if you're expecting me to acknowledge it, don't, because I've never fucking heard it before, and all it does is confuse me. I'm just gonna throw a shot in the dark and say maybe more Twitch plays Pokemon shit. I don't know. And then you got Jehovah, and then someone said something about the Book of Mormon. Now, I was looking at with that list where it's like 200 nicknames compiled by a robot pretending to be an Indian man. And as I was reading it, I was like, this is just a compilation of things he's stolen from other places. So I recognize Gumdrop off there. And I'm okay with food-based nicknames. In other words, we're just going to skip that site entirely because it's incoherent bullshit. But that's a fine name. Food-based nicknames are okay. I like the idea of Goobaka. I mean, in hindsight, like, it's kind of nothing more than just a joke and, like, not relevant. But, I mean, it's there. I'll give it props for originality. Right below it, Gumby. We have seen Gumby in the past before. I don't remember which Pokemon it was, but I do remember thinking it was entertaining then. And I still think the idea of Gumby as a nickname is entertaining. Slime Shady. We'll go ahead and acknowledge the joke for it. I don't particularly care, but it's there. And right below that is Snot from the band. Hell with it. I don't really care for the nickname, plus we've already got Jigglypuff as Pudding, so there's that. But alternatively, you could also just say Jello. Just acknowledging it for the sake of it. We got a lot of puns going on in today's episode. Not sure what's going on. Usually those are hard to find and very rare. But hey, Dr. Goom, it's there. And I also kind of like Winnie the Goo. I like Winnie the Goo better. Escargoo. It's probably actually been the best pun we've seen thus far because it's actually been relevant to the fucking Pokemon opposed to everything else, which is just like, hey, what if we just make a slime joke that has nothing to do with it, you know? What if we called it Scooby-Goo? Like, yes, it's very clearly a dog. A reminder, Dragoon, Draco, Drago, they're all terrible nicknames and you should feel ashamed of yourself. Yogurt is another alternative. I don't know if I like the pairing of being Snot and then Yogurt, but I mean, Yogurt's another idea in reference to Pudding and Jello. We've seen Forever in the past before. I want to say it was for both Reuniqueless and I think Ditto. I don't know. I guess I was kind of okay with it at the beginning, but I guess with time my feelings have changed, but it's there as an idea. We'll acknowledge Godzilla-based nicknames. We see them all the time before, though I think I'm going to stand with Tyrantrum probably being the best choice. Goozilla is better than Godzilla if you want to take that direction. Slurms Mackenzie. I think actually I would probably just go with Slurm. Just calling it Slurm by itself, I think that is a nickname that I would 100% back. That, I really like that. Like, I stand by the idea that I think most Futurama or SpongeBob or certain shows, like, you know, they're gonna have its fan service and be like, okay, well, here's a nickname idea, but I don't think they stand or work as well, or they're super overdone. But Slurm feels subtle enough to be like a reference without like punching you in the face and calling you an idiot and saying, do you get the joke, you stupid fuck? So I like that idea. And with the idea of Slurm, you could also apply it. I don't really know how many other. I feel like Magcargo is the only other snail Pokemon. So I mean, there's that. But I really like Slurm. I'm actually probably gonna use that. I'm not gonna lie, I was looking at one of those and I was just fucking confused. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Now I understand, and it's so far out of left field. It's in fucking Japan. Like, it's gone all the way around the world with that far out of fucking left field. Anyway, let's go on. Dragooey, that at least makes sense. It's not good. It's about his level of uncreative. We've got a lot of fucking robot bots copying and pasting other people's bullshit, so I already kind of saw that earlier. Same with Dracooz. Yeah, it's still hanging hard on the not fucking interesting level at all. But what really got me was Herbicky. I was fucking stumped. It's a combination of herb and sticky. Okay, cool. And the only reason herb, however you choose to say it, potato, is because it's an herbivore. Technically, in Pokemon, a lot of things are. If you ever watch the anime, all they do is eat fucking berries. Do they forget that Pokemon are also plants? I feel like it kind of makes the stigma they're trying to avoid even more awkward. But yeah, there's that, and that's just so fucking far gone. I decided now that I've looked through all the real, actual human-made ones to like go back and take a look at some of these other links. And out of them, Gummy Worm I like best. I don't fully understand the spelling. Like, I know that's like one of the, the Dynamax attacks is something like that. I don't know the origin of it, so I don't know if that's, like, I assume it's playing in the joke, but yeah, that's there. I haven't seen Yoshi. Maybe that's on Ranker. Maybe I should go to Ranker. I did see Storm Gooper on the 200 thing, and that was what made me stop, and I was like, nah, this seems like it's copying and pasting. So Storm Gooper is just another stupid goo joke. We've seen a bunch of those. I'm not sure what it is about this thing that's coming up with all these goo things, so we're making a blanket statement about it. Here's one. This one's free. You're welcome. You don't have to pay me or anything. Ivan Ooze, Power Rangers. Granted, I think personally that's gonna fit better on Muck, but it's there since goo is such a popular thematic here. You have to use both first and last name. Don't just call it Ivan or I'll punch you. Now, I thought a little bit about Dragoonite, because at first I just read it as Dragonite, and I was like, oh, I get it. It's making a joke. And I like the idea, but I still think it's gonna fall under the rules of, like, naming your Deoxys Magikarp, where it's just like, no, that's just not good or funny. Like, I understand the joke, but we also see stuff like this all the time where it's like, oh, bootleg blah blah or whatever, and it's fucking stupid. So, okay, we've looked through everything. We even went back a few times to like take a look. This guy's a fucking twat. I don't know who he is, but this is what you should name your Goodra. Click on my video. I'm desperate. I'm not a fucking loser. Capital letters. THIS. This. Anything else is illegal. Fuck that noise. Fuck you too, man. You're such a fucking twat. Don't like you. Don't even know you, but I don't like you. But we took an extra look at these 600 cool, catchy names and the fucking Goodra 50 and the fucking 200. Just, you know, after looking at the human answers, seeing what the computers compiled together while disguising themselves as Indian men, we took a thorough look. It was actually a lot better than I expected, if I'm honest. We do still have the spreadsheet. And there's nothing really interesting here, just another goo joke. Do you get it? Ha ha ha! If you didn't figure it out by the first time, there's a lot of them. We have a single comment suggestion, and I'm gonna let this one, that's completely up to your discretion. You ever watch South Park? I've watched South Park. South Park's actually been showing up in my YouTube recommendations, and it's amazing how much clips I don't fucking remember. But this dates back to an episode I don't think I've ever actually seen before. It was one of the earlier ones where people from the future? Okay, no, I do remember that. I was thinking of Starvin' Marvin. He sent me something about Starvin' Marvin once, and I never saw that. Okay, but I remember the people from the past, the people from the future coming back and taking all the jobs. So if you want to, like, you know, make a fictional racial slur your Pokemon's nickname, there's an idea for you, just for something different. But other words, going over everything here. Goo puns. We've seen like 50 of them. I don't really need to go over them all. The one that I think is best is gonna be escargot, because that's at least relevant and makes sense. All the other goo puns have nothing fucking to do with Goodra or snails or anything at all, so they're just there for the sake of making a goo joke, and that's it. So escargot at least makes sense, and that's a highly recommend. Other words, we also saw a lot of food, and I think out of them all, pudding, yogurt, jello, like those to me, I think are gonna make the most sense. But the one that out of all of it I like, and I'm probably gonna side with, the only thing right now that's holding me back is just the fact that mine's a shiny, and I'm like, oh, if only it weren't bright gold, and instead it was like, I don't know, for whatever reason, I feel like I could settle with it better if it's purple. But like, you know, Slurm is green, so you think of it like that. That's basically it. It's just a color thing. It's not that big of a deal, but that's the only thing that's like in my head. But Slurm is the one I'm probably gonna end up sticking with. Other words, that's it. Feel free to put your own ideas in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones you think are good. Never, ever title your videos something desperate like this, because that makes you a fucking twat. At least I can say, I don't do that. And you know what? I built this channel back up from zero, and it's something crazy. All you need is just think of something no one else has done. It'll pay you back. There's your YouTube advice. Do something no one else has ever done. That's genuinely how I've gotten any sort of success on YouTube in my 13 years of doing this. I think of an idea, I get pissed because it doesn't exist, so I do it myself.